Hold on a moment here, guys. Definitely just starting out here. We did not record for 4 minutes with the mic turned off or anything like that. This is me doing a tier list of all of the games they have played on the N64 in the last 2 months here. That is my personal collection of N64 games. Obviously, there's some really classics that we didn't play. The main reason for not playing them is just that I don't own them. And, you know, they're not even all the games I played in my childhood. I've played more than this, but, you know, I've sold games, they've gone missing, etc. So that's what we were left with. Yeah, so without further ado, I'm gonna order these. Oh, whoa, deleted something by accident. I'm gonna rank these in order of when I played them. That is the first stream at which I played each of these. So, hold on a second. I just realized that my Steam is not set to Do Not Disturb. Cool. The first game that we played was Space Station Silicon Valley. This is an interesting title overall. I think this game, you know, it's definitely worth playing if you've never tried it. It's a very weird and quirky game, which I love that about it, but I know it might not be for everybody. Having said that, you know, there's a lot of neat ideas that do come out in this game of using all the different creatures, all the puzzles that are associated with those, and especially getting all the gold medals, which, you know, there's the infamous one that you can't get a gold medal of in some situation, or not in some situations, period. Like, you just can't get it. It's on that one snow level. Let's turn the music down a bit here. Went for the ambient soundtrack, and this Paper Mario song is blowing my eardrums out. Yeah, so, you know, platforming is very inconsistent in this game, too. It depends a lot on who you're playing as. Some animals, it's great. The sheep, especially, like, the floating helps a lot. But at the same time, that makes it more interesting as far as the difficulty curve goes, because, yeah, you know, when you get further on, it's supposed to be more difficult. But there's definitely a lot of jank in the game, but I think it balances out well with all of the really cool stuff in the game, which is why I'm going to put it in the good tier. And our next title is Mario Party 2. This game is excellent. You know what? It's going. I'm just going to put it up here while I talk about it, because I love this game. You know, I'm actually not sure whether I like this one more or less than 3, but all the stuff in it, like, minigames are great. The minigame coaster is pretty fun. On hard mode, it's a bit brutal, but you know what? It's not overly brutal. It never sends you back too far. So I think it's just a really solid title all around. Excuse me. Definitely a really fun time if you play with your friends. I played it solo when I was playing, but even there, you can have fun with this game playing alone. I've said this before, but the Mario Party series really hit its stride in the first 3 titles. They had a really good balance between random events, balancing out skill gaps between players, and just actually having to be skillful to win. Now, part of that is, you know, sometimes things can swing one way or the other, but I think that's part of the fun, if you're playing this just in general. Ooh, Goemon track. I think that is, right? Sure is. So, definitely a legendary video game. Easily. And up next we have Smash Bros. Super Smash Brothers. That's under S, isn't it? Duh. There we are. This game, yet another classic. I do think this is probably easily the worst. It's arguable, I guess you could maybe make an argument for Brawl being worse than this game. Oh, there's the 3DS one too. I don't know anything about that one. But the worst in the series overall, but honestly, really freaking cool at the time it came out. I remember I got this the day it came out, and I was so excited coming home from school to play this with my friends. It was freaking super memorable. I love it to death. You know, it's a great start for a great series of fighting games. Yeah, not too much to say about that. I am going to bump it down to great, though, because it has been overshadowed. It's kind of like... I make this analogy way too much, but it's kind of like Resident Evil 1 Original versus Resident Evil 1 Remake, where future iterations of this game have been so good that it's kind of dethroned the original a little bit, but it's still really fun to play, and, you know, even though my cartridge was glitched out and I couldn't play anyone other than Mario in arcade mode, I still had a lot of fun. And just on time... Oh, no, Bomberman is not up next. Thought it was. We actually have a bit of a controversial one up next. Duke Nukem 64. Well, ironic that I hovered over Daikatana there. Yeah, man, I have so many good memories of playing this on the N64 specifically, with my dad, with my friends, like, everybody, like, you know, you don't even need to have co-op, because it's a really good game in general. But, oh man, I have since played the PC version, and it ruins this port. This game is nearly unplayable on the N64. You know, it's impressive what they did in terms of porting everything over, because it's all pretty much there, minus things they had to tone down or outright replace for either performance reasons or ESRB reasons. But, you know, the game is all there. It's just, that game has so many inputs. It's clearly built to be a PC game. It ruins the experience. I cannot put this any higher than awful. Breaks my heart to do so, but this game is stinky. If you want to play this game, please, please, please play it on PC. The Megaton Edition specifically, that I think it's on Steam, it's on other stuff too. So much better. Runs fine on modern PCs, no problem. Chameleon Twist is up next. Chameleon Twist, a delightful little platformer. I totally forgot to look up who made this game, but, you know, it's very cute. It's fun to play. It's very short. I actually just learned not yesterday, 3 days ago, maybe? I don't know. But apparently the Japanese version of this game has more content in it, so I might have to come back and revisit that someday. Because I've only ever played the US version, and it's pretty short, but it's short and sweet, you know? Super good game. And, yeah, I don't know. Really unique idea. The sequel's really fun, too. We didn't play the sequel, but, you know, I'm gonna go put this in great. Definitely below Smash Bros, but yeah, side note, when I stack these in the same row, I am gonna order these ranking against each other. Leftmost being the lowest, rightmost being the highest. As in, like, the best. So, now that the Bomberman music has faded, we're up to Bomberman 64, the second attack. So, I stated at the beginning of this marathon that this was my favorite Bomberman game overall. Definitely, it is amazing. I still love this game. Obviously, I had a huge hurdle getting through the last level specifically, and I still take issue with a couple of the rooms that they have set up in that final warship there. I really don't like the arcadey, like, timer that you have on the game over screen. I think that's just a weird choice all around, but that's such a minor piece of, like, what is an amazing adventure game. Yeah, I still love this game to death. I don't know. I don't know if it's my favorite anymore, but it is still really damn good, and, you know, for that reason, I'm gonna just throw it up here. So, okay, my main problem... Let me try to verbalize this. My main problem with this game that I didn't realize as a kid, because of my patience, or not my patience, or yeah, I had more patience as a kid because I had more free time, whatever. This game is paced so much more slowly than its other two counterparts. And honestly, I gotta ding it for that. It's just great. It's a great game. It's, again, absolutely something everyone should play if you are going through N64 games. But damn, yeah, excellent though. What? It keeps Excel. Come on. All right, Buck Bumble is up next, dude. This is like destroying my spreadsheet somehow. It's bizarre. Anyway. Buck Bumble, really fun game. Honestly, you know, I played this as a kid. We rented it, never beat it. Then I bought the game, and I played it a little bit, but never beat it. I got stuck really early on in the game. There's actually a recurring theme I've noticed between a couple of these titles. But, you know, it's a lot more fun than I remember. I remember it being, like, horrible to control, hard to figure out, like, what it wants you to do, like, all that crap, and then also just difficult in general. I think the reality of the situation is, the controls aren't always perfect. There are parts, especially when dealing with, like, the bombs and other, like, one-hit kill type scenarios, or, like, flying low when you're going towards, like, a watery surface that'll insta-kill you if you touch it, or those damn fly traps that will suck you in and insta-kill you as well. There's, like, it's rough around the edges, but still really, really solid title overall, I would say. That last level was brutal. A lot of these... I find that the difficulty curve in a lot of N64 games that I played this last 2 months here, jet sky high when you get to the last level. Bomberman 64 2 was just like that as well. This game was definitely like that. Oh, there was a pretty moderate, like, curve upwards. The last few levels I was having trouble with. But that doesn't make the game bad. I would say this is a perfectly solid title. I wouldn't put it below Space Race Silicon Valley, but still good. Still a good game. It's much better than the meme it's remembered for of just the theme song, although the theme song does slap. Glover. Glover. What can I say about Glover? Glover... So, I kind of feel bad that I didn't get very far in Glover when I played it these last 2 months, because for the most part, all the levels I played seemed more or less okay. This game gets incredibly infuriating to play as you get into later levels, and especially if you're trying to 100% the game, it is just a really bad experience. And I don't think my playthrough really reflected that very well. There's just... there's a lot of, like, really perilous tricks that you need to do to get all the cards, and just, like, confusing, janky bullshit that you need in some other places as well. So, yeah, while I didn't quite get to that since I just any%ed, like, 2 of the worlds, I definitely still remember all that, and even what we did see, there was the one pirate level I played that was just, it took so long to get around it because it's just a big open area, and then you had to use the physics of your ball to, like, get it in one place versus another, with the giant ocean that they had. And yeah, all around, it's a cute game, but it's just kind of bad. Not awful, not the worst ever, but bad. Star Fox 64. Legendary title. I think I said this while I was playing the game. I am not a big fan of shoot 'em ups, but this game, oh, it's so good. Like, it doesn't even matter if you like shoot 'em ups or not. Where the hell is it? There it is. Yeah. Obviously, I'm terrible at this game. The footage speaks for itself. But this game's freaking legendary. Is it better than Mario Party 2? I'm trying to be objective here. And I want to say no. And I'm going to do that, or I'm going to say that mainly on terms of content. This game is pretty cool with the split paths that it has, but even if you go down every single path in the game, this game's only really a couple hours long. Multiplayer you can get decent mileage out of, but there's not a lot of variety to it. So, multiplayer is fun. We didn't play any multiplayer, but damn, it is fun having dogfights in that game. But really, it gets repetitive pretty fast. And for that reason, I'm throwing it down into, you know, the lower legendary tier. Still a legendary video game, still excellent, but I gotta dock some points there. I imagine this list is going to be mostly Bomberman music. So, what is up next? Diddy Kong Racing. That is a very interesting title. Where the hell is it? There it is. Yeah, so Diddy Kong Racing, really fun racing game. The variety with the 3 different vehicles is enough for what's there. I don't like the way Adventure Mode plays out, where you have to replay everything twice. I think that's an unnecessary stretch of content, because there's plenty in there as is. Like, you have 5 different worlds you go to, there's like boss race fights that you do. All of it's really damn cool. The fact that you have to do it twice is just weird. Yeah, but honestly, it doesn't really like ruin the game or anything. It just makes it more drawn out. Yeah, we didn't even get to the final world because I only did the first level twice. I didn't do any other ones, so we just did like the main 4 one time around. But plenty of tracks in this game, plenty of racers in this game, and game modes too. There's all the crazy bonus worlds and stuff like that. It's pretty damn good. I would put it, I'd put it right here actually. And I don't know, this might not be fair because again, just like shoot 'em ups, I am not the biggest racing game fan, which will become apparent as we go further down this list here. But detaching myself from that, I think this still belongs, you know, somewhere in here overall. I'm trying to be more objective than subjective with this list, but that's gonna be a exercise in futility, so expect a hefty amount of opinion in all of these judgments here. It deleted that one too, what the hell? Leave my spreadsheet alone. Oh boy, here's another controversial take here. So, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. The first time I played this month, or last month, I mean, I got so frustrated with the controls that I went and played the remake. And, I mean, objectively speaking, the remake is way better than the original, for both 1 and 2. Like, it blows it out of the water. But that's not even, like, fair to compare them, because it's, like, decades of technology that have advanced since, and really honing in the arcadey, like, aspect of the game. Like, go play the remake if you like Tony Hawk games at all. Yeah, but, so, ignoring that, going back to time period appropriateness, I think the other problem this game has is, this is a much worse port than the PS1 version. Like, first of all, the joystick just doesn't, like, you can play with the joystick, but you really should not try to play this game with the joystick. It's, like, impossible to do anything that you want to do. The D-pad is, like, a necessity, and I didn't realize that the first time playing it, and I only realized about halfway through the second time playing it. But even with that, it's just, the N64 controller is not well suited to playing that game properly, and maybe I needed to mess with control schemes a bit. Maybe there was one out there that would have made things feel better, because I know there are controls. For whatever reason, I thought there was no park editor in the N64 version. I'm super wrong about that. There absolutely is. But, you know, that's just me being stupid. But, yeah, man. Just like Duke Nukem 64, the original game, it's excellent. Obviously, it's been outclassed by its remake, but, you know, still totally fine. I wouldn't say it's as bad of a botched port as Duke Nukem is, though, so we're gonna just put this down in the, like, lower bad tier. It hurts to do that. I love this game on PS1, but, yeah, I just can't. I don't have a video open. Hold on a second. What is this song? Oh, it's the desert song from Mario 64. What do you know? Okie dokie. Now, the next one. WWF No Mercy. So, I've said this several times. I am absolutely not a fan of wrestling at all. I love wrestling games. I've been playing that new Wrestling Empire game that Diddy made. It's so goddamn fun. Like, you could half-ass a wrestling game and it would be amazing. I think it's just the nature of wrestling where, like, in real life it doesn't appeal to me in any way, shape, or form. Never has. I didn't like it when I was a kid or anything like that. But in video games, you can just kind of go wild with them, and they do. And this game does as well. And speaking of half-assing things, this game absolutely does not half-ass anything it does. It has a super in-depth character creator where you can, like, set all your moves, a bunch of different appearance options, theme song settings, graphics that show up when you come on stage. It's amazing. For the N64, I am shocked at how much content there is in this game. Or, not even content, but customization, I guess, is really the aspect of it. Super fun game. Absolutely love pretty much all game modes. I don't think... So, I mean, I laugh a lot in general when silly things happen, especially. I I literally can't remember a time I've laughed any harder than the first time I played a ladder match in this game, and I was about to get the case, and then I got tipped over on the ladder, and the graphic of your character just holding onto the ladder as it slowly tips over. Something about it. This is a great game. I know a lot of my positive memories of this game are nostalgia driven, but I still think this is a really quality sports game. Like they really did a good job porting this over. Yeah. So that's No Mercy. Oh boy. Okay. Well, to bring the mood down a bit here, Gex 64 is next. Where is Gex? Probably under G. There it is. Oh, there's 2 Gex games on the N64? Thank goodness I did not decide to play every N64 game. Looks like he's wrestling in that one. Hey, what's up, Skull Spidey? How you doing? It is no secret that I am not a fan of the Gex games. Actually, this is the only Gex game I've ever played. I've never played the Sega one. I didn't even know there was another Gex game on the N64. I don't know if there's any of them besides that, actually. But this game is a stinker. I don't even know why I own this. I bet I got this like for Christmas or something one year or something. Or somebody like bought this for me. I can't imagine that I would have like consciously went and be like, oh, Gex, he looks cool. Because, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, this is such a mediocre platformer. It's so, like, bland in every single aspect, and the charming voice lines that Gex spits out are like a worse version of Family Guy. I know that not an original joke in any way, shape, or form, but seriously, just here's a reference, and they're all horribly dated as well because this game is so old. But it doesn't really change the fact that even if it were time appropriate and there were like modern references, that it would be any better. Because they're not cleverly done. It's just I'm spitting this reference out. But yeah, it's definitely bad platformer. Even if you take any aspect of this game, the platforming, the action, the graphics, like it's all bad. I know you mean that I have no taste in saying that, but this game has no taste. It's the most bland thing I've ever freaking played. Probably. Maybe not. Played a lot of, like, random free-to-play indie games, so that can't be true. Oh, man. Okay, this one's heartbreaking. So up next is 007, The World's Not Enough. I am standing by what I said. This game, the core engine of this game, is better than GoldenEye and Perfect Dark, but they fuck it up by having the worst levels. Like, every single level has at least, like, one thing bad about it. Like, it's such a waste of potential that, yeah, I don't know. It ends up becoming a very meh game overall. Like, there's, like, frustrating pieces to each objective that you have to do. So I played this on Secret Agent. I don't think it would have been better if I was on Agent. There's just so many cheap, like, sections that'll whittle your health down in, like, a second. The levels are excessively long, and if you die, you have to go all the way back, because there's no checkpoints or anything like that. And, yeah, it really just... If you stack it up against the other 007 game, GoldenEye, or any shooter on the 64, maybe, I don't know. I haven't played every shooter on the N64. It's just, like, you just see bad design, like, rampantly. So yeah. Not the worst game in the world, but definitely not good. It's such a shame, though, because the game, I think what's in the game, like, the engine and the way that it plays, it could be really fun. But it's not. Alright, before I repeat myself too much, let's just go on to the next title. Oh, alright, now we're getting to the good stuff. So, Banjo Kazooie. I absolutely love this game. Oh, wrong one. I absolutely love this game to death. This is probably the best collectathon type game that's ever been made. That doesn't mean it's the best game ever, because, I don't know, collectathons have their limits. This game gets collectathons right, which I think Rare kind of forgets how to, or not forgets, but overlooks what was so good about the design of this game in their future collectathon titles, both on this system and not. Yeah, so I don't know, the insane focus of like having everything really contained in a fairly small level that's fun to go around in and has unique sections that are all thematically consistent. It just makes this game so memorable, so much fun to play and replay a million times over. It's freaking legendary. There's no arguments. I don't know. Love it to death. And I'll just keep gushing if I keep going here. Speaking of another rare game, Conker's Bad Fur Day. So I kind of used to lump this in with like Banjo, as it's like a collectathon, and it kind of is because you're going around doing stuff. But the reality is it's a lot more linear than that. It's still a really fun title. Obviously, the crass humor is very hit or miss for some people. I could see some people hating this game because they just don't like the way that the humor is in the game. I'm definitely 50-50 on it. Some of it just doesn't hit quite right. And going back to Gex, there are some references that are just so dated, like the Matrix section, or what else was in there? The Saving Private Ryan section. Like, those sections are fun, but the humor that's attempted there is a little bit half-assed. And even going back to when it was relevant, I thought it was hilarious and cool because I was a kid. But if I'm imagining it like, you know, modernized, so like, I don't know, a John Wick reference or a pick any war movie ever, I don't know. Yeah, it still would just be, you know, okay, that's a reference to that. I'm gonna put that on the table, and that's fine, whatever. But the gameplay is really fun in this game. There are some sections that are a little bit bullshit and a little bit frustrating to deal with, but all in all, a really fun adventure game. I'm gonna go throw that. Do I want to put it above No Mercy or below? I'm gonna put it below No Mercy. And then regret my decision, but not change it. Alright. Rush 2 Extreme Racing. There it is. Yeah. I am more a fan of the Rush 2049, the sequel to this one, but I don't own a copy of that, so we played Rush 2 instead. Rush 2 is fine. I remembered it being a lot more silly than it was. It's a very straightforward racing game with some slightly different meta than your average racing game. You know, you can make people crash. It's almost like the prototype to Burnout in a lot of ways. But you can make people crash to get ahead. You can reset your position in some places to like actually technically get ahead in the map, just the way that it resets you. And then there's like the weird collectathons. I think this one, yeah, this is the one with the Mountain Dew cans. So there's like Mountain Dew cans you can collect that unlock more cars, I think. Keys also unlock cars. It's like stuff just scattered around levels, which really emphasizes exploration in addition to actually racing. The racing in this game is really damn hard. Like, the AI is so imbalanced that, like, even if you're playing on easy, you're gonna get probably crushed unless you play perfectly. Which I think is counterintuitive to the idea of having collectibles in the level and having stuff that you go after and weird, like, shortcuts that you have to solve to figure out how to get the key or the Mountain Dew can on it. Still, all in all, great game. I prefer the one that came after this more, but still really solid racing game. It's a lot of fun while being relatively realistic, still very entertaining. You know what? It doesn't really belong up there. Let's put this, yeah, good game. It's better than Buck Bumble. Well, no. Not better than Silicon Valley, though. Alright. Oh, another racing game. Yeah, Wave Race 64. Where did that go? I saw it a second ago. There it is. This is a really enjoyable game. I think one of the problems with it is that it really doesn't have like a lot of content to it. You have like 7, I think, stages that you race in, and otherwise that's it. So, yeah, it can be really challenging to do a lot of the stuff in the game, especially the first stream I did of this, I was trying to unlock the dolphin. So you can, instead of riding on a jet ski, you can ride on a dolphin. If you manage to go do every single trick within the time limit on the stunt mode practice level of Dolphin Park, which is it's a really cool Easter egg, but damn is it hard. And then in general, the championship mode, I couldn't beat it on anything harder than the easiest difficulty, which is called normal for some reason, but but again, I'm not very good at racing games, so there's that. I think it's totally an enjoyable game. I'd say it's good. That was one that my sister always really liked more growing up, so she always wanted to play it, and I'm like, I don't like this, I'm not good at it. But yeah, nostalgia aside, I think it's a solid game, and it's fun too. More I guess I just had a night where I played a bunch of racing games. Oh yeah, I have the dates next to these. I did. So Beetle Adventure Racing, which I know I've seen a couple times, but it moved now. There it is. So even more so than Rush, I thought this game was really wacky. It really isn't. It's like a bizarre advertisement for VW, I guess. Put Gex in Legendary. Denied. Declined. Rejected. Yeah, this is, again, there's nothing wrong with this game, but it's really just like you get in like one of 3 different Beetle models, and it's I don't know, it's just whatever. And battle mode was really lackluster too. I know we played against a non-moving player too, but even so, I thought there was a lot more to that game than there was, and it's really just racing over the same couple of tracks over and over. Yeah, that's the other thing that's annoying too. The career mode, you have to beat career mode and like place a certain amount to like win or whatever, and it really just like gets really repetitive, because then you go to the next tier, you do one more track, and then the next one, and so on and so forth. So I don't know. Very mediocre racing game. Oh man, we just dang it. The song just finished. Donkey Kong 64. We almost had it if I had just shut up a little sooner. What the hell is that game? Oh. There it is. I am a huge fan of Donkey Kong games. Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3, love them. Well, I love 1 and 2. 3 is good too. The Donkey Kong Returns and all that stuff, great games. Love what they've done. I love collectathons. I love collectathons made by Rare specifically. I loathe this game. I can't stand playing it. I really can't. Well, okay, sorry. That might be a bit harsh. This game is like the exact opposite of Banjo Kazooie in like every single way about what makes it a good collectathon, or what makes this game a good collectathon. Where this game keeps things simple and small scoped, this game is bombastic and grandiose and has a lot of backtracking and all these nooks and crannies to look in big spaces that, while they are not big empty spaces, it is so tedious going back with each Kong to get all the bananas, and then you need the banana medals for like unlocking more powers that you need to unlock certain bananas. This game is a clusterfuck of things to do. The boss fights are pretty good. I had a lot of frustrations with the last one that I did, but you know, that part's good. I do want to say, I don't think this game is bad from lack of effort. They put a lot of effort into this game, clearly, and there's a lot of love and really technically impressive things that they did with this game, but the end product is kind of stinky. There's just way too much to the game that, yeah, I can't give it anything higher than a meh, a solid meh. I'm gonna put it above 007. We didn't play multiplayer either, but multiplayer is kind of whatever. It's not bad, it's not great. Oh, by the way, the game I'm playing after this, I was gonna play Donkey Kong Country 2, but we're actually gonna play some of this, I think. because I had the urge to play more N64 games, and I think this game will beat that urge out of me. And then we'll be officially done with N64 month. No longer a bummer, PogChamp. What comes after this? Oh, Mischief Makers. Mischief Makers is a delightful video game. Let's see if I can find the thing here. This is another game. It's super freaking bizarre the way it's like set up. I don't know what were they thinking? No, seriously, like I don't know who came up with the idea for this game, but it's really damn fun. It reminds me a lot of Gunstar Heroes, and I think the developers are the same people. Hold on a second. Let me fact check myself here. Mischief Makers, Gunstar. I don't know why I typed that. Yeah, it is. Okay, yeah. Hold on. The company released the highly regarded games such as Gunstar Heroes and Dynamite Heady. I don't know what the hell that is, but Gunstar Heroes is one of my favorite Genesis games. That's a great one if you like, well, running guns, whatever you call them. But anyway, Mischief Makers. Enough about other console games. Mischief Makers. Really damn fun platformer, honestly. The puzzles are fun to figure out. There's a very minimal amount of like frustrating sections to the game. Yeah, the only like real problem it has is because of the flexibility of the movement system in the game, it does have a lack of feedback in some situations, especially some bosses. Like I didn't know if I was hurting them or like what to do, but you know, I think it's a victim of its own ingenuity. Like this game has a really unique movement system with the way that everything's kind of like grapple based, and then the jets that you can do to move around. Like it's a weird one. It's really fun. Highly recommend anyone play this. Where does it go? Does it deserve to be legendary? I think it does. I think I'm gonna put this at the bottom of the legendary tier. This game is really unique and good. I'm gonna try to not have like this list is definitely gonna be heavily swaying towards like good, great, legendary. I'll try to even it out so then that's like, oh, this is legendary, that's legendary. Resident Evil. No, hold on. I tricked myself. Resident Evil 2 for the PC is not part of the N64 library. Resident Evil 2 is on the N64, but we didn't play that version, so I'm not counting that. Bomberman Hero. Another excellent video game. Add one to the Resident Evil tally. Oh, you missed it. I already made the reference earlier. I was talking about Smash Brothers and how the original Smash Brothers is overshadowed by its future games, just like Resident Evil 1 is overshadowed by Resident Evil 1 Remake. Bomberman Hero. This game is fantastic. If I was gonna say that a game that I like, that my favorite Bomberman game is not Bomberman 64 Second Attack, it would be Bomberman Hero, hands down. This game is so damn good. It allows you to, you know, either go for the secret ending and go perfect every level, go get every little thing, or you can just play the game, and that is a great adjustment of difficulty, in my opinion. I know I just said I'm going to try to not have everything be legendary, but this game deserves to be legendary. I'm going to put it up there. Okay, I would definitely, if I put this above Star Fox 64, that's my personal taste speaking, so I'm going to put it down here. I don't think it would be fair to say this is better than Star Fox 64. What is this ping? Oh. But still, amazing game. Absolutely. You need to not scroll so much. That's like weird to listen or weird to watch, I think. Ooh, perfect. This is exactly the tangent I wanted to go on from here. Jetporce Gemini is up next, which is gonna be right here. Again, this is another collectathon by Rare on the N64. This game is amazing. It's got a really cool setting. It's really fun to play too. But it has one horrible flaw. The not the backtracking. The requirements just to clear the game are effectively the same as 100% in the game, because you have to rescue every little tribal. If they just changed that one thing so that there was like a quota of tribals you needed to rescue, or or something like that, it would be way better. In general, I don't really like the backtracking you have to do after reaching Mizar, because it's like, I get it that they want to like make it grandiose and have you go do some more stuff, like, oh, it's not over yet, you gotta do this thing. But the pacing, especially in the story of how that works, it's like you reach that, it's you know, that's the end of an act in your story. It should be like the end of Act 2 of like, oh, we faced off against the bad guy and we drove him away, but he's gonna destroy our planet now. Oh my god, everything's in crisis. Like, that should be a shorter segment wrapping up to the end. But instead, it's the majority of the video game, because you have to go back to every single planet and rescue any of the critters that you didn't rescue, which a lot of them you can't rescue until you get the upgrades out of that section. And on top of that, you have to go do other things too, and find new areas, which is fun, but should not be like a requirement just to finish the goddamn game. Going back to feedback, feedback is a little wonky on some of the boss fights. Not the end boss fight, but pretty much every boss fight except the end boss fight. And it's really easy to waste your precious, like, big gun ammo shooting at the wrong thing on some of the boss fights. Now, I might just be an idiot, but I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a problem. Having said that, this is still a great game, and definitely worth playing. But holy crap, finishing this game is brutal. And this is another game too where the end boss is so ridiculously more difficult than like 99% of the game. There's rough parts in there for sure though, aside from just that. But, you know, I'm gonna have to toss it in great. I love the game, but god damn, finishing it is a chore. Yoshi's Story. Ooh, this is actually like, we're like ping-ponging back and forth between things now. This game is delightful. It's so cute. It's got a lot of, like, great segments. It's not the most fun game in the world. I think part of that's just due to... Actually, difficulty balancing, I think, is part of what makes the game not fun. It's so cutesy and, like, chill, but then, like, the later chapters in the game are, like, really hard. And I don't know, I might have just picked levels that were harder. I really like the system of, like, finding the hearts to add more levels that you can choose from in the next section, and I also absolutely love the fact that playing through the game, like, once, you just go the path that you go. Like, it's just gonna be the 5 chapters or whatever it is, and then you play one and level out of each, and that's it. It makes the game short, but replayable, because you can go do other levels the next time. Yeah, great game. But like I said, you know, a great game with some problems. And another one to the great section. Wetrix. Oh boy, Wetrix. I hated Wetrix as a kid. Well, I didn't hate it, but it's like, oh, this is too hard, I can't play this. I still can't play it, but I had a lot of fun playing it. I'll be the first to admit, though, that, like, while it's a really neat idea, it has really limited scope. Like, for an N64 game, the amount of content in this game is laughable. It's fun for what it is, but it doesn't really have, like, a lot of replayability or complexity that things like, well, Tetris does. It's the wet version of Tetris. Damn it, it's the wet version of Tetris. And that's pretty much enough said. I'm gonna put it... I don't think it deserves to be in the bad column, but maybe it does. No, it's definitely just a meh game. I actually agree with this list mostly. Good job. Hey, what's up, ZD? Yeah, this is probably way more polarizing and, like, rage-inducing than my Resident Evil one is. I'm surprised that my Resident Evil video, and I'm gonna know it was one of you two if it changes. My Resident Evil video on YouTube has not gotten any thumbs downs. It's all thumbs ups. Which is, I think, my most viewed video at this point in time. Anyway. Tetrosphere. Tetrosphere I also had a lot of fun playing. BRB to download, or to downvote. I think this game is gonna fall in very closely to what I just said about Wetrix. This game is neat, it's fun. They actually do a good amount of, like, adding in different game modes to try to mix things up, but at the end of the day, spherical 3D Tetris, like, is a very limited concept and also doesn't have a ton of replayability. It's very different from Tetris, which is cool. But it just, I don't know, man. You can only do so much with it. And they took this to the extreme. I feel like you might have been able to get away with doing, like, some more power-ups or crazy stuff with wet tricks. Like, this game, Tetrosphere, it seems about right. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's just not a lot of game, or not a lot of, like, replayability or anything like that. So for that, I'm just going to put it in the Mac column, slightly above Wetrix. Although I actually like playing Wetrix more, but I think Tetrosphere is a better game. What's up next? Pokemon Stadium. Cool. I was surprised. Like, there's some things I never noticed. Like, I thought this game had, like, no content in it when I was a kid, and I think, by some arguments, it kind of doesn't. Like, it's just Pokemon battles, and then the minigames or whatever, and, you know, they don't really take that long to play. There's only 9 of them. But, I think it's an impressive, feat on this, wait, which one's 2 and which one's 1? That's 2. Like, for the N64, I think this is, like, a pretty good, like, representation of Pokemon battles here. BRB, don't mess this up. I left a mean comment and actually hit the thumb up button. Nice. What is this song? I know this song. Oh, it's the Mischief Makers theme. Right, yeah. Oh, I didn't even mention that in Mischief Makers. It's so weird and cool that the collectibles determine how much of the ending that you see. I don't know if that's a good feature, but I found that very strange, which fits the game overall. Anyway, enough about Mischief Makers. Pokemon Stadium. Yeah, I mean, okay, I need to be transparent here. I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan. I was when I was a kid. You know, I loved Red and Blue and Gold and Silver. Like, that was fun. But I fell off Pokemon hard after that. Like, by the time I hit college, I just didn't give a shit anymore, basically. Playing this made me want to play a Pokemon game again, though. And I think that, you know, there's a lot of craftsmanship in it. Really, my one problem with the game, which is unfixable for N64, is the announcer makes the fights so repetitive. The announcer and the music makes the fights so repetitive, because he just says the same 6 things over and over again. But you can't, like, that's the most expensive, as far as space-wise goes, thing on a cartridge. So, like, I get that he doesn't have, like, 60 different voice lines and, like, all these contextual things. Like, you could not have done anything else. Oh, it's a one-hit wonder! There is a difference in the number of remaining Pokemon! Anyway, really, really solid game. Probably as good as they could have made it. It's not for me, but I have to acknowledge what's there. Really good. Top of good. What's the matter, trainer? Oh, taken down from the word go! Anyway, so I'm gonna stop shouting those lines at you now. Wrestlemania. Oh, this game I had the complete wrong idea of. Hold on, where is WrestleFest? I think this is WrestleFest. I can't really read it. Might not be. I don't know. There's a game called WrestleFest somewhere. Wait, no, WrestleFest is for the NES. What the hell is it? There's another N64 wrestling game that's, like, less of a sports game and more of a, like, fighting game. That game sucks. I thought that's what this game was. This was actually pretty fun. It's just like No Mercy, so, you know, I should put it up here, but if I'm not mistaken, this has, like, less to it, doesn't it? I had fun playing it, but it seemed like there was, like, a lot less in the way of, maybe WF Raw? Okay, it might be. But yeah, I don't know, good game. I barely scratched the surface. I should have played this for longer. I gave up after I lost the belt to The Undertaker. But I had fun playing it for sure. I wish I had more to say about it, but just copy paste a lot of my feelings about No Mercy and then dial it back like 10%. Because there's just like a little bit less in it. Alright. We're blazing through this list. Actually, no, we're not. It's been an hour. Number 32, or sorry, number 31, Goemon's Great Adventure, aka Mystical Ninja 2. Where is that game? There's Mystical Ninja. Where's Mystical Ninja 2? There it is. I love this game. You know, it's got a lot of charm to it. It's a really, really tough platformer slash action game. It's kind of like a what the heck is the word for like a hack and slash, but 2D? I don't know. This is a very weird idea for a sequel, though, because you're doing a drastic shift in a lot of different ways. Mystical Ninja is a much easier game, and it's also more of like a Zelda-style adventure game, whereas this game is more like the classical Goemon games on the Super Nintendo and NES and other consoles. So it's more true to form in that sense, but it's weird that it just switched so abruptly. That being said, the absolute best thing about this game are the mech fights. The mech fights are so damn fun. They were challenging, you know, I died, I swore, lots of things happened, but I had so much fun fighting every single boss in the mech in this game. Easily a legendary video game. I'm gonna go ahead and put it above Bomberman Hero. Barely. Just barely. Where are we at? Super Mario 64, just in time. Quick before the music ends. I don't think I need to say a single word about this game. It's fucking Super Mario 64. It's legendary. No shit. It revolutionized 3D platformers. Like, having said that, it has aged very poorly, and I'm super mad that the remake, or the re-release, whatever you want to call it, the Switch game, the All-Stars, 3D All-Stars, I am so mad that they did not patch the camera. The camera is a sin in this fucking game. And, you know, limitations, right? Like, this is a watershed video game. Like, I can't say enough nice things about Mario 64, and I'm sure everyone would agree, but, like, oh my god, some things are so hard to deal with that just haven't aged very well. We're now in Goonscast. Nice. And for that reason, I'm putting it just below Banjo. It's still amazing. Still love it. I had a lot of fun playing it. And, yeah, I need to go redo my performance and then not BLJ through that one door so that we can submit the speedrun. Now, if I ever look up, like, the route, I'm sure I could get, like, a reasonable time in the speedrun. No way would I get anywhere near first, but, you know. It's only, like, the most competitive speed game out there. Well, maybe not, but up there. Ooh, damn, we are all in, like, really good game territory now. Snowboard Kids 2 is up next. I think I skipped over one of them. We definitely did. Hold on a second. How did I do that? Oh, crapperoonie. Well, okay, I'm gonna go through the list to make sure I didn't miss any others later. Yeah, I skipped one somehow. Oopsie. Snowboard Kids 2! Yeah. I don't like racing games, I'm not good at racing games. I love Snowboard Kids 2. It's so damn fun. I wish I still had my copy of Snowboard Kids 1, because it's just as fun. 2 is better, so, you know, if I had to pick one of them to still have, 2 would definitely be the one. Yeah, it's freaking great. The power-ups are fun, like, the getting on the ski lift is fun. Every single aspect about the game is really gosh darn fun. I'm gonna leave it in the lower tier of... yeah, no, this deserves to be in Legendary. But I'm gonna put it at the bottom. The main problem with this game, in my opinion, is content. It has an acceptable amount of content, but if you stack it up against these other games over here, you know, it's a little lackluster. Although, I guess it kind of ties Star Fox in that regard. But, a freaking great game. I can't... Oh, I know what I did now. Dang it. I have 2 tabs open right now, and I was tabbing between my overall every game I've streamed list and then my other stream list, and for whatever reason that's in different orders, so I skipped over one. Whoopsie. Like I said, we'll go back for it. It's ironically one of my favorite games of all time, but somehow we missed it. Up next, Fighter's Destiny. Oh, right, it'd be up here. This is from Tui, right? Yep. When's that tier list? Ooh, damn. That would start some fights. Some Fighter Destinies. Where the hell... Can I not do the alphabet? There it is. Okay. This is a really cool fighting game with a unique twist on the on the genre. You know, the sparring points and taking enemies out different ways to give you more points or less points, and being able to configure that as well. I didn't even point that out. So I did point out that in story mode versus was it Master's Challenge mode, the two modes I was playing, that the points were different. Like I would only get 2 points for a special kill in story mode, whereas it gave me 3 in the other mode. You can configure that. If you're playing multiplayer, you can set in like settings, which is kind of cool. It's a nice little touch. But yeah, really fun game. I don't know. It's good. Top of good. There's not, again, just like these other ones up here, there's not really a lot to it, but what's there is really good, so can't complain. Oh, here we go. The infamous one. Iggy's Rackin' Balls. This game is so bland. I know I said like a second ago that the X64 has no flavor whatsoever, and it's like whatever meh type game. This game doesn't really do anything horrible. It's like, it's fine as a racing game. I don't know why I couldn't get it to work on my N64, and why it kept crashing on emulator too. Like, this game was so hard to get like streamed, it was so stupid. My personal copy of the game broke. Using an emulated copy did not work on the capture card with my EverDrive, and then like emulate, I don't know, it was such a pain in the ass to get such a like mediocre game to run. But yeah, in addition to being just really bland in general, it's also really like not short, but there's not a lot of races to it, so it gets really repetitive real quick. I don't think it deserves to be an awful, but I am gonna make it worse than Gex 64. Oh, okay. Bomberman 64. Worst game of all time. No, I'm kidding. I like the other two Bomberman games. This marathon, if anything, has made me realize that I fucking love the Bomberman franchise. This game's amazing. I would say, as a first attempt stacked up against the other two, it's less amazing than those. But one thing that this does great, which actually is way better than Bomberman Second Attack, oh, that's where I left Second Attack, is that you can run through the game really damn quick and just finish it if you just want to beat the game. The 100% ending is a lot more involved, and, you know, it's fun to do that stuff too. I know I didn't show that off, but, like, that part of the game is really fun as well. Getting all the gold cards can be somewhat of a chore in some levels. There's a lot of really complicated tricks you gotta do. But, you know, that just, you know, adds playtime to the game for what it's worth. And there's not a ton of bullshit in this game, which is nice. So for that reason, I'm going to put it in great, just above Second Attack. Personally, I like Second Attack more, but this game is paced much better. So I think it deserves to be above it. This is a funky song. I don't know what this is from. Pokemon Puzzle League. Misty's theme. I've only played Pokemon Puzzle League like one time in my life. But I played a ton of Tetrosphere Attack, and it's the same game, so, you know. I'm gonna take a quick sip of drink here. We're near the end here. We got like 6 more. And then I can punish myself by playing some Donkey Kong 64. Kirby 64 is up next. Kirby 64 is cute. Getting all the shards is obnoxious, but you don't need to. Very, very appropriately length video game. I actually remembered liking this game a lot less than I did replaying it recently, so I'm glad I went back to play it. Yeah, it's just okay. It's not like, there's nothing amazing about this game. It's definitely not as bad as Silicon Valley, though. Or, not that Silicon Valley's bad. It's less creative than Silicon Valley, but it's better put together, so does not deserve to be below that. I'd put it above Wrestlemania. It's a fun little game. It's Kirby. You know, cutesy platformer, not that hard to beat. A couple sections are frustrating, but whatever. Actually, even 100%ing it, it's not really hard, it's just annoying because there's a lot of places where you have to have a specific power and you need to know that. So you'll need to play the level once, then play it again, or get lucky and just have the power. The combo system, though, is pretty cool, of mixing powers. So, I'd put it up there. There's other Kirby games that are better, like, hands down. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And I am so sorry if Loadrunner Gaming, or whatever that person was that commented on my Loadrunner video, watches this. Loadrunner 3D is up next. I'm up all night to get lucky. Loadrunner 3D. I need to go on record. I love Loadrunner games. In fact, the first Loadrunner game on the, or I don't know if that's the first one, but the Loadrunner game on NES, the first time I played that, that is what it sparked my interest in game design, because there's a level editor in that game. And then it only got even worse, or better, whatever way you want to look at it, when I got a hold of Loadrunner 2 for the PC, and it had like a really complex level editor. Where the L's at? There they are. I don't know what the cover of this game looks like, because I think I've hovered past it like 6 times already. I think it looks similar to like the Blitz cover here, where there's like lightning bolts and stuff. Okay, so now that I've prefaced that I am a fan of Loadrunner games, seriously, believe me. Holy crap, Loadrunner 3D, or Loadrunner, yeah, it's called Loadrunner 3D, is such a steaming turd. It, like, I don't know. I feel like they could have done a lot better with the hardware on the N64. And really, there's just weird gimmicks in each world, and it's slow and tedious to play through. I couldn't stomach it past the first 2 worlds. We only played it for like 2 hours. I don't think I'll ever touch that game again. I cannot, for the life of me, figure out... I'm looking at N, aren't I? NFL Blitz. Yeah, that's my problem. Holy crap. There it is. It's the only US game that starts with an L. I think it is. Okay, well, that's weird. Yeah. Worst ever seems harsh, but there's nothing that's going to be lower than this on my tier list here, so we're just going to use the worst ever. Yeah, I know. I wish I could control F. But, yeah. Oof. Not touching that ever again. I don't think I'll ever touch Duke Nukem 64 again. I will play Duke Nukem 3D again. Actually, I played... After my stream that night, when I played Duke Nukem 64, I went to go play Duke Nukem 3D. I played through the first campaign again. I'm like, I need a fucking palate cleanser. Like, yes, this game is still fun and good. Mario Party 3. Mario Party 3 is up there with Mario Party 2 is great. The story mode is appreciated. I think it's a nice evolution past just the roller coaster minigame, but I think it adds a lot of like unnecessary fluff at the same time. I used to say Mario Party 3 was my favorite game, or sorry, my favorite Mario Party. Now I think it's the worst game ever. No, I'm kidding. Now I would put 2 above 3, honestly. Still a legend, still great. It's really obnoxious in story mode that you have to do the battle mode after you do story mode, and it seems like the AI runs away from you to make it really hard to actually get the points you need to finish the game. So yeah. But story mode aside, I mean, the game itself is really fun. The minigames probably, on average, are more fun than Mario Party 2, but I think there's more highlights in 2 than 3 for me. Yeah, alright. We're rearing up to the end here. Legendary games only now. Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. I loved this game as a kid. I loved it even more playing as an adult. It's kind of hilarious how far I got as a kid, because it was like, I think it took 2 hours of gameplay to get there. And then the rest of the game took me, like, I think maybe about 8 hours in total. But super fucking good adventure game. This game has a lot of charm. Even when its jokes don't translate properly or fall flat, they are hilarious because they're brought alongside with cheesy canned laughter that they replay over and over. I know I didn't emphasize this much in my playthrough, but the very first time I played this, when you go to the first mech fight, I was dying laughing. It's so funny. Like, just out of nowhere, oh, now there's a mech segment, why not? I also like, too, one thing that this has over the sequel to me, while the mech fights are not as fun, they are more spontaneous. In the sequel, you always do a mech fight after a boss of a castle. This game, sometimes you don't, and the first one you do after the castle. Like, you gotta go down the road or whatever, and then the guy pops out. So I think because of all that, I gotta put this game up there. I'm putting it above Mario Party. This is a really good hidden gem on the N64. Also, I learned after I finished this that this game predates Ocarina of Time, even though it plays very similar to it. That's really neither here nor there, but yeah. Okay, Mario Kart 64. This game was so much easier than I thought it was going to be to beat. Granted, we only played 150cc, we didn't play mirror mode, but this game is a classic. Everybody loves Mario Kart. Like I said, I don't like racing games, but I'd pop this in any day to play it with friends. And playing alone is pretty fun too, obviously not the best. Battle mode is my favorite, always will be. I really wish Nintendo would recreate a battle mode like that as opposed to what they've been doing with Mario Kart. Like where you just have like arena style separate levels and stuff like that. Having said that, I'm gonna be real, I'm pretty sure the best Mario Kart overall is 8/8 Remake. Like, that game is such a good honing of this formula, but I mean, this game is great too. Honestly, I've never played a Mario Kart game I didn't like. I've played pretty much all of them. We found out that there's like 4 arcade ones, and I've only played one of those, so I can't speak to those. I also never played the one on Game Boy Advance, but I did play the DS one. I played the DS one online as well, which DS Online was always a good meme. The side tangent here. I owned, what was it, Jump Ultimate Stars? I forget if it was Jump Superstars or Jump Ultimate Stars, but Jump Superstars, Jump Ultimate Stars, whatever. Whichever one it was, I owned that. I played that online, and it was always like a meme because it's a Japan-only game. So I was always playing with people in a different time zone and just like had horrible connection issues. But that's a fun game too. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Mario Kart. Where does Mario Kart belong? It's a legend. But what kind of a legend? You know, I'm gonna go ahead and say... I'll also point out, just to be fair, there's not really a lot of courses in this racing game, which, compare it to like Diddy Kong Racing, has a lot more. But I don't know. The game itself is just really fun to play. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw it up here. This is all legends. Guess what? One of them is it's a legend, as in Legend of the Mystical Ninja. Oh, by the way, I was super fucking wrong. I kept talking about, oh well, Goemon's is a return to like the actual like older titles. No, the Legend of the Mystical Ninja is like the first title in the series. So like Mystical Ninja is more akin to the like format of the titles. I don't know. They're all over the place if you go look at the series. It's a very long running series. But yeah, love those games. The N64 ones are easily the best though. Yeah, so that's Mario Kart. So this is a list of all the US games, so I don't actually have a graphic for this one. But the last game that we played in the marathon was the Japanese Bomberman 64, which, not to be confused with the game Bomberman 64, it is actually the third to last title that was released on the N64 in 2001. Tony Hawk's 3 was the last one, by the way. Anyway, that game was very interesting. The minigames were very hit and miss. Some of them had horrible controls, like the one that was like Snake, where you're driving the train, but it's like, you know, Snake where you gotta pick up the pellets and dodge stuff. It had like a bizarre lag to like the inputs, which for a game that's doing like 2D rendering on the N64, I assume that's probably just like unoptimized hardware usage. But yeah, I don't know. That was kind of a turn off, but some of the minigames were pretty fun, like the one where you gotta flip the switches with A and B while you're also still controlling Bomberman. Like, I don't know. The game had a lot of charm to it. But all in all, like, I'd really put it on par with the Super Nintendo Bomberman games though at the end of the day. And they jammed a ton of content into it, clearly. But I don't know. For N64, especially one of the last titles released on N64, it's kind of unimpressive. So for that reason, I'm just going to go ahead and use, what's a good thing for that? Well, we use 1080 Snowboarding. Although the 1080 Snowboarding, I've played that game. It does not deserve to be in this tier. It's definitely better than this. I'm going to say it's a meh game. So that is, Bomberman 64 Japanese version, not 1080 snowboarding. I have no input on 1080 snowboarding. I've played it, but I don't. It's not since I was a kid. So I skipped over at least one thing here, and that would be Perfect Dark. I don't know how I skipped over this, because there's literally, like... This is one of my all-time favorite shooters. This song is loud. Am I getting drowned out? No, I'm not. Okay, good. What is this song, by the way? Oh, Harvestman 64. I've played that. Where is Perfect Dark on this list? Under P. There it is. I'm gonna go out there and say it. Perfect Dark is a better shooter than Goldeneye. That's gonna rile some people up, I know. But it's think about it in the grand scheme of things, right? Like, it's built off the same engine by the same team. Afterwards, they enhanced the engine. You know, they didn't have the license for Goldeneye, but they still, you know, like, kept forward with it, created a whole set of new characters, a nice, cool cyberpunk aesthetic, they're a cool original plot instead of just like a movie adaptation. Like, it's amazing. And then you go into like multiplayer mode, and you have all this like crazy customization you can do. It's so cool. I will say, it is a tragedy. So, if you've ever played, there's like a Xbox 360 HD port, as well as the Rare Replay collection that's available on Xbox One. There's a port of Perfect Dark on there that is amazing. It enhances an already great game to even like higher standards, which was a little disappointing playing this again, but you know what? Whatever. This is N64 Marathon, not whatever marathon. I want to say it is like a travesty that Goldeneye didn't get the same treatment, because Goldeneye is still a great shooter regardless of all those things I just said. Perfect Dark is just an even better shooter. This game is an absolute legend. I would put this in there as the best shooter on the N64. Having said that, shooters on the N64 are a fucking nightmare, because this controller... Hold on, let me pull it up for comedic effect. This controller is not suited for playing shooters. I already talked about that when talking about Duke Nukem. You know, it's not easy to deal with. Wait, it's not in front of the camera at all. Boom. Like, the joystick sucks, and it's the best you can do in terms of getting accurate aiming, so I don't know. But even with all that in mind, still an amazing title. It's the perfect FPS controller. You're right, look at all the buttons. N64 is the best joystick for shooters. I'm gonna hold this up, sir. What do you call this? Hold on. Just kidding. This guy, though. Actually, I kind of hate the fucking Pro controller. The 360 controller is very comfy for shooters. Maybe if the N64 had 2 joysticks. Probably not, though. Let me make sure I didn't miss any more games. I think that's everything we played. Space Station for Silicon Valley, check. Mario Party 2, check. Super Smash Bros, check. Deep Nukem 64, check. Chameleon Twist, check. Bomberman 64 2, check. Buck Bumble, check. Glover. Star Fox 64. Diddy Kong Racing, Perfect Dark. Tony Hawk 2. No Mercy. Gex 64. World Is Not Enough. Banjo Kazooie. Conker's Bad Fur Day. Rush 2. Wave Race. Beetle. Beetle Adventure Racing. DK64. Mischief Makers. Resident Evil 2. Not Resident Evil 2. Sorry. Bomberman Hero. Jetporce Gemini. Yoshi Story. Wet Tricks. Tetrosphere. Pokemon Stadium. Wrestlemania 2000. Goemon's Great Adventure. Super Mario 64. Snowboard Kids 2. Fighter's Destiny. Iggy's Wrecking Balls. Bomberman 64. Kirby 64. Load Runner 3D. Mario Party 3. Mystical Ninja. Mario Kart. And Bomberman Japanese version, which is this guy. That's what I got here. So boom. Point is, Rare wins, everybody else is stinky. The end. No. Excellent. This was really fun going and playing all these games. Even the bad ones, you know, we had fun fooling around. Actually, I can't say I really had that much fun during Load Runner. It's pretty miserable. But overall, you know, it is what it is. I didn't even address the elephant in the room, that some of these are on a scale, right? Like, the N64 has horrible technical problems that are partially due to just it being a pioneer in a lot of 3D space, But in general, just like the hardware limitations themselves, showing through. The camera is obviously like the #1 complaint that people have about most N64 games. The second one being that a lot of them are ugly. Oh, I didn't point that out. Mystical Ninja, for being such an early game, looks fucking beautiful because everything's stylized. I just wanted to call that out. A lot of these other games look pretty crappy. But you know, it's what you deal with, right? Like, there's only so much you can do with the hardware at hand. Obviously, over time, people refine their skills and get better. You look at Bomberman 64 compared to Second Attack, when there's like a huge gap in years between those. They clearly learned some skills to like throw some more stuff in there. Whatever. But yeah, that's my tier list of the games that I played in the last 2 months. I'm considering playing some more retro games. We might do like an NES month. I have a lot of really weird NES games, so that could be fun. GameCube month might be a thing, although those games are longer. And I think I have a copy of Resident Evil 4 somewhere, which I think I'm mostly done with that game, as fun as it is. I've just played it so many freaking times. PS2 month might never happen, because it's like so damn long. PS3 month could happen, though. I only have like 5 PS3 games. It would last 2 months, but... yeah. I don't know. Those are my thoughts. Now, with that being said, we're gonna go down one last rodeo. I know I said when I played Tony Hawk on Friday that was the last time I was playing N64. NES November? Maybe. November's like the end of like my crazy season for stuff. Although October we're making a game, so I don't know. I might be burnt out. But yeah. Like I said, we're playing one more N64 game, y'all. Prepare thyself.